Hello, and welcome back to yet another inspirational podcast episode brought to you by yours truly, Karina from Healergy. I'm your truth speaker, truth seeker, truth keeper, and I am so glad that you're here with me today. Hey, it's Karina, and welcome back to Soul Medicine. This episode is for the woman who feels heavy in her own home but doesn't know why. The one who walks past boxes, photos, and clothes pretending they're just stuff, when really they're emotional anchors. Today I'm going to take you into something rarely spoken about honestly, the energetic weight of the things we keep. The wedding rings, the baby clothes, the books from an old version of yourself, the photo of someone who died. By the end of this episode, you'll understand why letting go isn't just a choice, it's a nervous system recalibration, and why holding on to certain items in your home might be the very thing keeping you stuck. Nobody tells you that decluttering can feel like betrayal. You pick up your mother's wedding ring and your chest tightens. You hold a photo of your ex and feel that flicker of what if again. You tell yourself it's just sentimental, but your body knows better. This isn't just clutter. This is energy. Everything we keep holds a frequency. The ring, the letter, the coat hanging in the back of your closet from a partner who left you. It's not just fabric or metal. It's a memory loop. It's an altar to a chapter you haven't fully closed. And every time you see it, even if it's just in the corner of your eye, your body relives a part of that story. Decluttering is like breaking a soul contract, not because the object is bad, but because the version of you that needed it has evolved, and keeping it around is like dragging a ghost into your next season. So let me say what no one else does. You can't move on if your home is a shrine to the past. Keeping your ex-husband's hoodie, the wedding photos on your bedroom wall, the box of love letters in the closet. It's no wonder you're stuck in the grief cycle or struggling to attract new love. We think we're being respectful or hopeful or nostalgic. But sometimes what we're actually doing is delaying the closure we're too afraid to name. Even the grief, especially grief, that photo of your mum on the mantelpiece that makes you cry every morning. Is it helping you heal? Or is it reopening the wound every day? Is it a window to love or a cage of longing? And there's no one-size-fits-all answer, but it's a question worth asking because some grief asks to be honoured and some asks to be released. Let's name what's often left unsaid, shall we? The unspoken belief of if I let go of this, I'll lose a part of myself. If I throw it away, I'm dishonouring them. If I clear this out, who even am I without it? Those beliefs live in the nervous system. They sit quietly underneath your decision to keep a drawer closed or a box untouched for another year. This might look like constant fatigue, especially in your house. Avoiding certain rooms or boxes without realizing why. Inexplicable grief, guilt, or anxiety tied to things. Physical pain that won't shift, like that lower back tension. A deep desire to move forward, but a quiet fear of what it would mean to let go. And here's the thing. Moving the object to the garage or the basement, or for my UK followers, the attic, even the top shelf of the wardrobe, doesn't solve it. The energy is still in your home. It's like hiding mold behind new paint. It might look tidy, but the rot is still there. And your body, your nervous system, your soul, they know. You can't kid a kidder, folks. The object might be out of sight, but it's not out of field or even out of mind. So if you're feeling stuck, tired, emotionally heavy, ask yourself, what in this house is keeping me anchored to a version of myself I'm no longer becoming? I have Sirius in the 4th house in Cancer, a placement that governs home, family, emotional safety, and ancestral memory. And Sirius, as a fixed star, is all about soul truth and higher wisdom. This placement doesn't let me bypass the surface. It drags truth through the bones of the home. Sirius in the 4th house teaches me this. Your home is not just where you live. It is where your soul roots. And if those roots are tangled with old grief, broken dreams, unresolved stories, how can you possibly grow? Imagine trying to plant something new in soil filled with broken glass. That's what it feels like to create a new life while storing the fragments of the old one in every drawer. Decluttering becomes sacred when you treat it as a ritual, when you look at something and say, you were part of my story, but you are not the ending. Clearing energetic space makes way for the new to flow in, but not just in a poetic sense. It's the death card in real life. Not about physical death, but the shedding of what no longer serves. People, places, objects, identities. The endings we fear because we haven't yet imagined what could be born in their place. It's like trying to paint a masterpiece on a canvas that's already covered in someone else's brushstrokes. You can't fully express what wants to come through until you've cleared the echoes of what once was. For me, I had to physically make space before I could begin to create and welcome in my coaching container, which I'll be releasing later this year. It was like clearing out the guest room, so my future self had somewhere to land. There was no room for her amidst the clutter of who I'd been. And let's go even deeper. Some of what you're holding on to isn't even yours. It's your mother's grief, your grandmother's sacrifice, the generational weight passed down like fine china, too fragile to use, too guilt-inducing to give away. So what happens? It sits in a cupboard collecting dust. Cancer energy, my Cancerian placement, clings. It's astrologically linked to safety, memory, and emotional roots. It keeps the photo album, the apron, the blanket, not because it's wrong, but because it equates safety with familiarity. But sometimes the safety is false. It's an illusion built on obligation. And when we begin to release what isn't truly ours to carry, we create space for a deeper kind of belonging, the kind that doesn't live in things, but in self-trust. In the days leading up to the collection, I experienced a deep ache in my lower back, an intense, unrelating heaviness. At first, I thought it was just physical, but when I tuned in, I realized my root chakra was screaming. My nervous system was bracing for release. My body knew I was about to let go of decades of stored memory, grief, and ancestral holding. Sometimes our pain is an injury. It's information. It's data. My body was asking, are we safe enough to finally set this down? And when the bags left my home, so did the ache. When I recently did a huge clearing of my own, I used a company called Recycling here in Victoria. They offer free pickup from the front door. No awkward drop-offs, no being turned away from the op shop. And as I let go of each bag, I said, thank you for the memories, but now it's time for others to enjoy you. I trust that what I give out will be received back tenfold. And that small ritual made all the difference. It turned the goodbye into a gift. And let's be clear, the expectation here isn't that you need to declutter at the scale I did. When I let go of 21 black bags and 2 boxes of books, it was a full body, full soul process, months in the making. Your invitation might simply be to remove one item, just one, and then sit with the awareness. Notice what shifts, what rises, what flows in as a result. Because sometimes it's not the act of letting go that matters most. It's the witnessing of it. The decision to no longer carry what's no longer yours. If this process feels overwhelming to you, you can start here. Choose one item you've been avoiding. Hold it and just breathe. And ask yourself, does this help me heal or does this hold me back? If it's time to let go, don't do it alone. Use a service like Recycling. I'll leave their details in the show notes. Let someone else take the burden off your hands, literally. This isn't affiliate marketing, by the way, just my own genuine experience of using their service during a deeply personal clearing. And I'm sharing it with you because it helped me and I want it to help you too. This is about clearing the emotional weight and removing the practical friction. Okay, let this be your permission slip. Let this be the moment you say, I don't have to keep this just because they did. I don't have to hold it just because it was handed down. Now it's time for someone else to make use of this, to enjoy it as much as I have, to give it new life, new meaning beyond me. You are allowed to break cycles gently, to honor what came before without imprisoning yourself inside it. And I'm curious, what in your life are you still holding on to out of habit, not alignment? What in your home still carries the weight of a version of you've already outgrown? And what would it feel like to set down just one piece of that? This is the work I do, helping you name what's unseen, release what's no longer yours, and come back home to the woman you're becoming. Whether it's through tarot, Reiki, or coaching, if something stirred in you today and you're ready for support, I'd love to walk beside you. You'll find all the ways to connect with me, including tarot, Reiki, and coaching sessions in the show notes below or at karinabull.com.au. Thank you for walking this with me. And if you don't want to miss future episodes, be sure to follow or subscribe to the show wherever you're listening. With your support, this podcast is reaching the people who truly need it. Every share, every listen, every follow helps it land in the hands and hearts of those who feel alone in their pain. You never know who needed this today, who felt a little less alone because you shared it. If this episode helped you name something you've been feeling, I'd be honored if you shared it. You are not meant to carry it all. You are allowed to set it down. And when you do, something new will rise in its place. You're not just decluttering. We're composting the past into something that can nourish who you are becoming. We're not just letting go. We're coming home. Until next time, just because it was doesn't mean it will be. With love, Karina.